more now on our breaking news this morning, where a car has driven through a crowd of Liverpool fans celebrating the team's win in the EPL.
For more, Piers Morgan joins us now here in Dubai. Piers, a horrible evening, right?
Absolutely horrific. I was coming here to chat to you guys about being in Dubai and fun stuff, and then on the way this news breaks and you immediately think Liverpool, you know, this amazing club that's been through so much heartbreak and tragedy with Hillsborough, and here they are again plunged into this desperate situation. The videos are horrific. Now, we don't know what's happened. So we don't know, was this deliberate? Was it a terror attack? Was it somebody who's collapsed at the wheel? We've seen all those scenarios before with cars and trucks. And I've learned, as you guys would have done in the news game, it's better to be patient and wait. But it certainly looks from the footage that I've seen that this is a deliberate act. You know, this big people carrier van drives into some fans and then accelerates into others and seems to be deliberately running people over. But it is, you know, it's absolutely appalling. It's obviously ruined this amazing day of celebration in the city, having won the Premier League. And it's a desperately sad day, not just for Liverpool fans, but for everyone who loves football and cares about this beautiful game. Here we have another awful scene and tragedy.
That's what makes it all the worse, isn't it? Because it's a moment of joy. And this is happening.
The ultimate moment of joy for Liverpool fans, and then this utter horror, which will now be the only way this is ever remembered.
I mean, I'm just looking at that footage too. You could see the crowd trying to get at the driver as well. I mean, this is a...
Well, yeah, because they clearly, a lot of the fans realised this may be deliberate, and they were desperate to
stop it,
to try and attack the driver, it seemed to me, from the pictures. So incredibly dramatic footage. Again, I just urge a little bit of caution. They've got the driver, apparently, the police. They are investigating. We have no idea yet who has been at the wheel, what the motivation may have been, or was it a terrible accident? Was it a deliberate act? Was it terrorism? We just don't know.
It's a tough town, you know, and they have been through an awful lot, and this will test them.
Well, they were all singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." You know, it was one of the most rousing renditions of it actually when they won the Premier League, and they celebrated at Anfield only yesterday, or the weekend, and they just had this moment of utter joy and unity amongst themselves. And as they sang that song, we all know what it means to Liverpool people and Liverpool fans. It doesn't just mean football, it means Hillsborough, it means all the terrible fallout from that. And to see that moment of unity and joy displaced by these horrific scenes seems particularly cruel.
All right, let's move on to here. Just a couple of days ago, you started harassing me on Instagram saying, hey, you're going to be in Dubai at the same time as me.
You followed me. Said, mate, are you in Dubai? I'm desperate for ratings. Can you please get your ass down to the Atlantis, right, and please bail me out? Here I am.
And we're
once again helping you.
And once again, a very big disappointment.
They'll already be rocketing. They will be.
This is a place you've been to many times. I've seen you here in the last couple of months, different parts of the Middle East. It's extraordinary what's going on.
Do you know, I was in Saudi Arabia for the first time in January. I had an amazing week. Saw my old friend Cristiano Ronaldo, who's having an amazing time there, but also really staggered by what I saw in terms of the drive and ambition and the scale of everything that they're doing and the rate of transformation. I then got invited to Qatar last week for the state dinner by the Emir hosting Donald Trump, which was certainly news to Donald Trump when he saw me, but it was a funny moment seeing him there. But again, Qatar, another place absolutely since the World Cup, flying with ambition and drive. Here, I've only actually been here twice. So I came here in 2008. Right before the financial crash. And I did a documentary film, spent nearly 3 weeks here. Had a great time, and I thought, wow, this is a real burgeoning place, isn't it? I wrote this whole piece. This is the place for the future. Financial crash comes, and bang, Dubai basically goes into total reverse.
Basically, they blamed you for that.
They basically said, would you never do another documentry film? In fact, would you never come back here? Don't come back here. Sorry.
It's bad.
But, you know, I've come back, and it's mind-boggling, mind-boggling. But what it shows me is, as Donald Trump, I think, touched on in his very smart speech in Riyadh, actually, there's a kind of organic dynamism coming from within now in these countries. They're driving it out to the rest of the world. It's not looking for bailouts from the rest of the world to come here and do their stuff. Yes, they want investment, but also they want to show the world what they can do. They are doing stuff in places like Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Riyadh and Qatar, which I have not seen the rate that they're doing this stuff, or the scale, or the kind of entrepreneurial zeal and work ethic behind it. I got to say, I don't know how you feel about Australia. This is not what we're seeing in the UK right now. We feel, by comparison, Sleepy Hollow.
There's a lot to ask you about, and we don't have much time with you, Piers.
I've got hours. I mean, if you wanted to switch us up, we're wearing the same kind of
Look,
gear.
I wanted to ask you what you think
he
about...
even found out what I was wearing. Look at that.
I'm happy.
You actually are twinning today.
I'm happy to let you take it.
We need to do a poll with our viewers who wore it better. We'll see.
We're both
Who's
wearing
sweating
it
through
well.
it more.
Of course. Go with the expensive one.
I wanted to ask you, Piers, you had that extraordinary interaction with Kanye West
Oh, do we
recently.
have to mention
or is
the
it
K
Ye?
word?
What's
Another one of your
Which
great
one is
ones.
it? I mean, was that a record for you? He
Do you know
stormed
what?
out
If I
after just
knew
a
I
few
could get
minutes.
that kind of global attention and ratings from a 3-minute interview, all my interviews would be 3 minutes. No, he
that all it was?
behaved. Well, he lived down to every expectation. I interviewed him for 2 hours a couple of years ago, and that was torturous for both of us, I think. He walked out several times, then came back. And this time, I just thought, I know he's going to muck me around. Is it even worth wasting my life on this guy? And sure enough, he cancelled the first night. He said he'd grace us with his royal presence the next night, and then he blew me off after 3 minutes, moaning, if you remember, and obviously I'm aware it's a morning show, so I won't go into the precise details of what he said.
I wish you could.
But it was about the fact that I had reduced his following on X from 33 million people to 32 million. And as he said, that was like severing a part of his anatomy as far as he was concerned. And then I'd misnamed him, which is obviously the crime of our social times.
Yes.
Which is a bit confusing because he insists on being called Ye, but his X handle is still Kanye West. So we tried to sort of flip between the two and call him Ye West. But that apparently was a misnaming offence, and so for those two reasons, he cancelled the interview,
Just
All right.
a bit precious.
No, it's just a
Well,
poor,
ironically,
it was a poor interview.
he is an absolute...
Oh, it's on Piers.
And I would then
I'd be careful
name
if
the
I was
body
you.
part that I wasn't able to name earlier. He's one of those, only in entirety.
Well,
Before severing.
He's committing to an interview with me next week. He knows it's going to be a lot more entertaining and interesting. Look at you sizing
You
me
better
up.
not be.
Come on.
You too.
That's why he cancelled.
I feel like I should get it. I just leave you two to
You know
it.
what?
No,
One
no,
day
no.
we should have. If you've got a fountain, we should. There is a
Tension.
fountain.
Yeah.
We should do the Bridget Jones theme.
You should.
When the
Wrestle
two,
each other in
yeah,
there.
both
Yes,
in the fountain with our
let's do
little
it.
handbags.
I'm a lover, not a fighter. It's great
Got
to
money
see
on
you,
Piers
and I
for
love
that.
you, as you know.
Well, as you
appreciate it.
know, I never normally talk to Australians in Ashes year.
Yeah.
I've made an exception because you sounded a desperate man.
Aw.
And he just said to me, look, I need the numbers. Can you get down there? I know it's late. I know it's the last thing you want to do. And I said, yeah, but I need 100 grand in ready. So he went, no problem.
Yeah.
And here I am. So thank you very much.
The Atlantis Hotel, I've got to thank them for providing you with your usual
Well, funny
fee.
enough, I actually got an Instagram message today from David Warner,
Oh, yeah.
and who's, I noticed, bailed before this Ashes series. Very sensible warning. And he said to me, you should get to one of the
Atlantis
restaurants
Royal.
here.
Yeah.
And there's a particular restaurant and a particular wine list you thought I might enjoy.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mr. Warner.
Oh,
it's very generous.
That will be my actual fee for doing this interview.
Well, it'd be our pleasure. We'll see you there at 3:35 a.m. local
Yes.
time.
You'll still be out, won't you, Piers?
And we have a date with Salt Bay
We do.
on
tomorrow
Tuesday night. Yeah, tomorrow night. The
Oh,
guy
dear.
with the golden arm.
I'll be a bit under the weather tomorrow night, says. Can handle it.
Well,
as
you know
always.
what? If you want to come instead,
Well, maybe you could come
you know,
instead.
get rid of the
What do you
beast,
reckon?
bring the beauty. Not a problem.
Piers,
Wow.
careful.
Not a problem.
It's always great to have my ego boosted by you, Piers. Lovely. A big round of applause.
Welcome
for Piers
anytime,
Morgan.
Piers.
Thank you. Oh, you said a big round of applause.
It's like a golf.
Come on.
We brought half Australia with us. It's great.
It's like a golf clap.
Well, good day to everybody anyway.
Yeah, good on you,
In
mate.
the old motherland.
Lovely
Thank
to
you,
see you,
Piers.
buddy. Thank
Great
you
to
so
see
much
you.
for coming
Enjoy the rest of
by.
your time
Coming
here.
up this